Sawadee Krap and welcome to another episode here for the Funky Pod. And it's time again for Media Prof reacts to Balenciaga. Whew. I was debating with myself whether or not to do this here. And we still don't know all the facts. We don't know like who is involved to which extent and who really commissioned like what happened, the photo shoots and so on. So I'm just focusing on the communications part of Balenciaga right now, okay? So what happened is there are two different campaigns actually that receive lots of backlash right now. The one campaign is that one with the celebrities in a office setting, and then there's a stack of papers on a desk or something in the background, and the stack of papers is from a criminal court filing from like a pedophile case, which is of course a terrible prop to have, obviously. And then the second one is the one with the kids that you've probably also seen, where the kids are like carrying those weird bags, like the teddy bears and so on, and like bondage and stuff, and then all like in like a devilish like setting as well, the pictures of the kids, like with like devil worshipping or whatever that the innovation, is that the right word in English, might be there. So one thing is clear, like putting children in like situations like this, even if it's like artistic or if you want to be controversial, it's just BS, obviously, right? And if there's more to it, then of course there should be harsh consequences to that. I think we all can agree on that. Now, whether or not it's art, it's artistic freedom, I mean, from a personal point of view, I think you can see where I stand. From a freedom of speech point of view, but as soon as you put children in such a situation, right, it just sucks. So I think if you want to be artistic and controversial, you don't need to put children into such a situation. But I'm here not to talk about this. I'm here to talk about the communication that Balenciaga tried to have, not to have. So what did Balenciaga do? So well, first of all, they're gone on Twitter, which is great. They deleted the IG posts, which you don't do if you don't feel like you have something to hide, right? So now I'm not sure why this happened. So they posted apologies on their IG stories before, like, sorry, we shouldn't have put children in the situation, which is true. And they also said they're investigating what happened with those props in the other shooting. Fair. Thing is, you did commission the shooting, you had people on set during the shooting, you had those pictures in your hands for months before you publish it. Why does it still go through, is the question. I just had an event like 3 days ago. I got the pictures, I looked at every freaking picture before we published it, obviously. Right, so, So in that, it's a multi-billion-dollar company, so that is crazy. Which is, by the way, for those who don't know, Balenciaga is not only Balenciaga, it's owned by Kering, or however you pronounce it. The brand that also owns, I think, Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, one of those, Dolce & I forgot, and Saint Laurent. So it's not just like this one-off brand, it's like a huge conglomerate. So you should have people to check before you publish pictures, right? So someone saw it, someone said, yeah, great idea, that's what I wanted, and then they went on with it. As for then that campaign with the kids, WTF, but also then like, you know, you can go down the conspiracy road now, like how those are similar pictures to like other people that were accused of pedophilia and so on. You can go down that road, but you don't have to prove. It sure looks like it, yes. Maybe there's a connection, maybe there's not. Maybe they're just all weirdos. But I can see how you can go down that road. Again, from a communications point of view, I just wonder how anyone thought it's a good idea and how anyone thought this would not lead to outrage. Like, what was the goal behind that? Because if you're doing stuff like that, you don't want it to come out. So why do you think it's funny to be controversial like that? What's the agenda behind this is what I'm wondering. And again, if I'm like in such a big conglomerate, I should have like better communications person already that will say the right things and not just we condemn it and we investigate, because you gave it a go, you gave it the green light. And now Balenciaga said like it was that agency or whatever who was involved in the photo shooting, and they just told him to be punk, and then the rest is happened by that agency. Yeah, sure. Don't tell me there weren't any Balenciaga people at the shooting, for example, right? I guess that's not how creative works usually. Where you don't say just be punk and then they do whatever. That's not how it works. There is definitely someone from the company there. So this just all doesn't make sense. But when you try to find information online, it's of course also very difficult, because Balenciaga and now this campaign, those two campaigns, are dividing the media again, of course. There's then the right-wing media who says, yeah, see, there are more of those pedos, I know it, ooh, and the left-wing, they're okay with it, and they're all wearing it. Then there's the super left-wing who then says, yeah, wait, A, nothing's proven, B, it's completely different campaigns. It's not the same campaign. It's different times, different agencies involved, different photographers, different whatever. Which sounds a bit like excuses. I agree, but it's also factual, right? So now you can see how the media is already divided there, and how, of course, also then all the audience is divided. Now, if you take away whether or not you're left-leaning or right-leaning, you're Republican, you're Democrat, whatever you are, like just leave that out, right? The fact that A, the pedophilia court case is a prop is ridiculous. There's no reason for that. Like, it could have been like a lorem ipsum dolor, right? It could have been like whatever. There's no reason to do this. And then secondly, using children in such a setting, like also WTF, like why would you do that, right? So now whether or not that's like on purpose, whether or not that's just like coincidence, but the fact that you're doing it tells me that A, you just want to stir shit up, or you're doing it on purpose. Like you have something to say. Both reasons aren't good reasons. And also for someone who did like guerrilla marketing and so on and all those controversial stuff, and I just don't see like a reason why this was done and why there's no better way of handling it right now. This year we investigated something that companies say when they get caught with something, and then they try to buy themselves time to astroturf it. That's what, we look into it, we investigate means. It's like, we just buy ourselves time, we're investigating, and we just hope that people forget. And I really hope people don't forget. I hope Balenciaga is really in it right now, because not only for Balenciaga's sake, or like for getting that brand, like the opposite of recognition, notoriety, maybe, is that the right thing? But also just to let other brands know, like, no, we're watching. Like, we see what you're doing, and you can't just smooth over it again. And the fact that now Kanye and Kim and so on also talk about it, maybe it's actually something good now. Maybe we can I don't know, not learn from that. Maybe other brands realize that we don't just take everything, right? So I hope that's the one takeaway here. Again, from purely like a communications point of view, this is a disaster, obviously, for Balenciaga. Heads should have rolled right off the bat. No, like, we're investigating and so on. That's just some BS. No one's going to be satisfied with that. And they should not just an apology on your IG story. You should have done more, and you should have donated right away or whatever. I'm not just saying we figure out, investigate, and work with whatever organization. that's all too late, too little, too late. I'm very curious to see where this goes now. I'm sure more heads will roll here eventually. Probably the heads of the wrong people, probably like just the comms department and so on. But it's interesting to see from the outside. We'll talk again about it maybe in like 1 or 2 weeks from now. Let's see what else happened then. But for now, I'm intrigued to see where this goes and intrigued to see like how many more celebrities speak out, speak up, do something about it. Until then, let me know what you think. What do you think about Balenciaga? Do you now think I'm done with the brand? Do you think just coincidence? Don't exaggerate. That happens all the time. Your thoughts on Balenciaga? Shout out at funkitpod on social media, funkitpod@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this thing here. And as always, stay safe, take care. Sawadee Krap.